inside of today's video, we're going to be taking a look at all things MOE, the brand new mythic brawler coming to Brawl Stars. We're going to be taking a look at how he works, his best matchups, his best counters, how strong he's going to be in the meta, and everything else. So you can see by MOE, as a standalone brawler, he doesn't look too flashy. He deals 1,000 damage per little rock that fires out, and it bounces twice, so it's just good to know. It also kind of reminds me of Bonnie's Wisdom 2 star power, how it splits. But of course, if you hit someone up close, you're only going to deal 1,000 damage. So just a quick tip straight away is that typically you kind of want to miss the enemy just because you might be able to get that 2k or even 3k damage, as you saw right there. So with MOE's super, as you've probably seen, you can go through walls, well, under walls, you can go over under water as well. You can do a lot of different things, but the good thing about this super is the fact that damage combination is absolutely deadly. So I'll show you guys in a second. So you can deal like 5k damage in an instant. So you got to make sure, of course, you hit the robot and then you land on them. That's 6k damage, and then you can just go to town. The range is quite short, as you can see here, but it's 680 damage. Your movement speed goes to very fast as well. So there's a lot of things going on with MOE, and also he takes 8 shots to get his super, whilst if you pop this gadget, it will only take you 4. So again, what you want to do normally is trying to hit as many people as possible, because of course you're invulnerable. So just line it up with as many people as possible, land on the squishiest brawler, and you can go to town. So that's going to be the kind of basics. Take a look at the first gadget. It's called Dodgy Digging. So whenever you use this gadget, you get an extra 50% supercharge for 5 seconds. So I believe that will make it take 6 shots to charge your super fully, which is pretty decent. So from 8 hits to 6 hits, that's going to be pretty good. But I don't know, it's only 2 less hits, right? It just depends on whether his other gadget is any better. So it's a good gadget. It will get good value, especially you can catch people off guard and cycle through your super pretty quickly. It's probably the easier gadget to use, but let's take a gadget 2. So now jumping into gadget number 2, we have a rat race. So for this gadget, it only works whilst you're inside of his super. So whenever you pop your gadget, you'll dash and destroy some terrain. So it's actually a useful gadget, and it will help you close the gap whilst also destroying some walls, which can be beneficial as well. Always good as a gadget. I think this can be good in the right situation, but I still feel like the other gadget will be better most of the time. Okay, so now moving on to star power number 1, we have skipping stones. So with MOE's attack, normally he has 2 sets of stones, well, 2 bounces, and with his star power, he gets 3. So this essentially increases your DPS, especially if you can stand really well, if you can just get the right bounces. You can pretty much do like 3k damage quite consistent. You can see here 4k damage, 3k damage, 3k damage. So again, avoiding the enemy, you're just getting consistent damage a lot of the time, and with his star power, it increases DPS. So why wouldn't you want to use this one? I think this is a no-brainer. So with MOE's second star power, it increases his traveling time whilst inside of his super, which sounds pretty good. You can catch the opponents by surprise, but to be honest, I'm not really noticing that to be that effective, especially considering the first star power is going to increase your DPS with every single attack. I don't see many people actually using this one. So again, another star power, which I feel like should have just been baseline all along, whilst this one might be good in a few scenarios, but just use star power 1. So now let's take a look at his best build and what I predict it will be. So I'm pretty sure that this will be the best gadget, mainly because you can cycle to your super much more effectively, and that's how you're going to make plays with MOE, being able to go underground a lot more, etc., deal a lot more damage. I think this will just be a lot more consistent, and this will just be used maybe to counter certain compositions, maybe to counter throwers a little bit harder, etc. And for star power, I think it's going to be a no-brainer. Skipping stones has to be the better star power, increasing your DPS just like other star powers in the game, like Otis's star power. I think this will be the better one. So in terms of his gears, I think that for the most part, damage gear is just going to be pretty solid on him. I think vision gear, you're not going to get much value out of. I think shield gear is going to be pretty good as well. And if you wanted to cycle maybe a lot of supers, then you might want to opt for an extra gadget. So you can never really go wrong with those 3 gadgets. So now let's go through his best game modes. So starting off with gem grab, I think he's going to be very strong in gem grab. The potential to, no matter what, basically go underground and always appear on top of the gem carrier. I think that's going to be a broken attribute. So I think he's going to be S tier in gem grab. Next will be a bounty. So I think bounty is going to be one of his weaker game modes, mainly because he really likes the range. But I think there'll be a few maps like Canal Grande where it'll be really surprising. And still, his super will counter the snipers because they're squishies. I think he'll be good in some situations. Brawl, I think, is absolutely going to be S tier game breaking. The fact that he can just charge his super so quickly and just win so many matchups with his super, whilst the opponents literally can't really do anything unless you've got a jump or some type of stun. I just think it's going to destroy everyone. Next, we have Hot Zone. So another game mode I think he's going to break, mainly because in Hot Zone, sometimes it can be hard to escape a spawn trap. Well, he can just avoid that easily with his super every single time, get himself straight back onto the objective, get kills easily. I think he's going to be very good in Hot Zone, easily S it. And then finally, we have Knockout. So again, Bounty and Knockout going to be some of his weaker game modes, mainly because of the sharpshooter meta. But I still find that he's going to be really good. Late game, he can be really good. He's going to be a great counter to throwers, especially late game. I think he's definitely going to be a good asset, but probably towards like the B or A tier. So now let's take a look at the best counters, matchups, and how strong I think Mo's going to be inside of the game once he drops. So in terms of his best matchups, I think that throwers could be a really good matchup for him. I know he's going to struggle to get his super, but you know, typically you end up getting your super from another brawler, and then your super's just going to wreck throwers in every single 1v1. So I like that they're introducing a thrower counter to the games, considering how strong we are in ranked. So I think it's just going to feast on them. It's going to feast on squishier brawlers because of that combination, the 5k damage combo, and even like you can deal 6k damage quickly, of course, with the drill. I think he's going to delete all the squishy brawlers. They're not going to do anything, and most squishy brawlers haven't got a way to defend themselves against quick assassins like Mo. So I think he's just going to rip for everything. But I think because of how strong he's going to be, I think he'll be pretty broken. I think he's going to counter pretty much every single brawler inside of the game. So let's jump on to the brawlers that counter him. So typically, it's going to be brawlers that outrange him. He hasn't got the most range. So again, I think it's more going to be the map pool kind of being a disadvantage to him because he doesn't have an unlimited range. So making sure that he can consistently stay out of his range and not feed his super is going to be the best way to defeat him. But once he gets his super, it looks like it's pretty much GG for every single brawler near enough, unless you've got like a knockback or a way to jump out. You know, not every single brawler has that kind of escape mechanism. So yeah, there is that. And in terms of other brawlers that can counter him, I'm just thinking just the tank counters, typical tank counters that can like shove him away, deal quick damage. That's probably the way that you're going to burst him down, because he's not the tankiest of brawlers. But I just don't think many brawlers are going to counter him. So that will lead on to my final point on how strong I think Mo's going to be inside of a game. And I think he's going to be absolutely S-tier. I think it's going to be broken, so easy to use. It will take a while for people to learn how to play Mo. But trust me, after trying him out, literally, I've had to make this video very last minute. But after trying him out, I've learned the combination. So if you guys want to know the secret combo that is broken, you just charge in. And if you're not close enough to deal damage, well, no, actually, you use up all your ammo. You then charge in. And then you can quickly go back into your smaller form after you've hit them for that 5k damage. And then you automatically reload all of your ammo again. I think that's going to be secretly the broken thing about Mo. So you can spray out 6 shots in a matter of seconds, and they can't even deal damage to you whilst you're underground in that super. So all things considered, surely he's going to be game breaking. Do you guys agree with this? I mean, I know it's a bit repetitive saying that most of the new brawlers are going to be broken, but most of the time they are. So he's definitely going to shake up the meta. I think he's going to be incredibly fun, but very frustrating to face off against brawlers like Miko. It reminds me of Miko because with his main attack, you can dodge every shot, with his super, you literally can't hit him. So yeah, that's going to be it for today's video, guys. As I said, I'm sorry for the kind of quick video. I've been super busy and wasn't able to put out my normal content, but with the update probably landing tomorrow, I'm back on the grind, and make sure to subscribe for all future content. So that's going to be it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.